Watch this video if you want to learn everything you need about prepositions in English. Hey, coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on another lesson because here in this channel, I make lessons from Monday to Friday because I want to make you a better and more confident English speaker. So there are all kinds of English lessons. Grammar, vocabulary, expressions, idioms, phrasal verbs, corrections, listening tips, pronunciation tips, speaking tips, because I want to make you a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing. Very well, my friends. Today, let's dive into the content because I have a lot of information. Yeah. Prepositions in English. Well, this is a series, okay? What does that mean? It means that I have a lot of information to give. So I'm dividing this lesson into several parts, all right? So I'm going to be giving one lesson today. In 2 weeks, I'll be giving you another lesson. So there will be several parts because there are lots of things that I want to talk about in this subject, prepositions. So in the comments when the live video is over, let me know if you have any suggestions of preposition questions, okay guys? So if you have questions about prepositions, let me know because then I'm still creating the next videos, the next lessons. I can include your preposition question in the future videos of this series. Remember the present perfect series? I'm not finished with the present perfect series yet, but I am making videos at least twice a month about present perfect. Next week, we will have a present perfect lesson that was requested by you guys. So if you have a preposition question, post them in the comments. I will analyze the question, and if it makes sense, I will definitely include in my series, okay? Anyways, guys, what are prepositions? Many English learners get a little confused with the definition of a preposition. It's a simple word, okay, guys? But this word has a responsibility. This word will connect the nouns, the pronouns, or phrases to other words in a sentence. You know, when I am teaching my basic students in my online program or in my online classes, and even here on my channel, I have a few things, I teach my students a sequence of how to make a phrase. So like a very basic phrase, okay? So I teach the sequence where you need to put your pronoun, your subject, where you need to put the action, and where you need to put the complements. Usually, this is not the rule, okay? But usually your preposition will come in the complement area. You have a person, a subject, then you have the verb, and after the verb, you have the complement, the things that will help you complete your phrase. In this part, you will need a preposition to connect the ideas. And these prepositions can be any kinds of words. Now, one thing that I forgot to say, this is an introduction video, okay? This video is live, but I do not comment on the chat unless it's something really specific, but it's a live lesson. You will see I'll make mistakes here, or an ambulance may drive by, or a helicopter, because it's São Paulo, so it's a chaotic city. Anyway, so the preposition works as a linking word in a way. It will help you connect the nouns, pronouns, or phrases in a sentence, in a complete sentence, okay? Now, examples. The cake is inside in the fridge. So I am connecting the cake and fridge. Of course, I have a verb, remember. So I have the subject, the cake. Then the verb, I need a verb in my phrases. Is, verb to be. In is connecting the cake, is, and the fridge. Many English learners forget to use the word in, or they use a different word. I will talk a little bit about the mistakes we usually make with prepositions, but many times English learners don't know how to position the prepositions in a sentence. We will have videos to talk about that, okay? So another example here, the church across the street. So I am giving you a location. I'm telling you the church. Here I don't have a verb because probably this is a complement to a phrase, okay? I put very simple phrases here just to show you the responsibility of the preposition, which is to link two words, to link phrases in a sentence. I have an English class on Tuesday, so if I want to connect Tuesday to all the rest of my phrase that was before, I need a preposition. So that's basically the responsibility, the use, the functionality, the function of the preposition, in not only in English but in any other language. It's just that in our language we don't think about it. We learned when we were kids, but that's basically the same use, okay? Now, we have two types, well, we have many types of prepositions, but here we have two ways to define prepositions. We have a simple preposition and we have a compound preposition. What is a simple preposition? Basically, it's one word. It's a simple preposition. In, on, by. I'm from Brazil. From. That's a simple preposition. I go to work. That's a simple preposition too, okay? So every word that is only one is a simple preposition, okay? And we are going to talk about the different kinds of prepositions. There are many different situations when we use preposition, and in this series I am going to cover that. So if you are excited to see more about prepositions, hey, hit the like button, because that way you help Teacher Prix understand that you want to learn more about prepositions, that you are excited to learn more. And anyways, a compound preposition is different. A compound preposition is usually a combination of 2 or 3 words, and together they form one preposition. Not really one, but it's a compound preposition. This, my friends, is usually what confuses students. It's easier to understand the simple preposition, but the compound preposition is usually what confuses English learners. They don't usually know how to use them. They don't know them, the combinations. So in a future video, when I talk just about compound prepositions, because I will have an entire video lesson to talk about compound prepositions, I will give you a list of my top 20. I'm not going to give you many, that's not my focus here, okay? But I'm going to be giving you 10 or 20 compound prepositions that are very important and that you should be using because native speakers use in spoken and written language, okay? So compound prepositions: according to, different from, in front of, on top of, aside from. They are not only one, they're 2, 3 words that together will give you a different preposition, a compound preposition. And many English learners confuse or make mistakes with the complements. So they say different of instead of saying different from, and aside of instead of saying aside from, that they're according on or instead of saying according to. So this is something that I'm going to be talking about in a future lesson. Today is just an introduction. Just as with every complex subject like present perfect and other accents and other grammar points, I like to divide, okay? So this is a long subject, so I'm going to be making several videos, and I really hope you guys enjoy this lesson. I'm very excited. I love prepositions. I think they're very cool and very interesting, but we need to study a little. What are we going to do, right? Moving on. Now, types of prepositions. So I will also make specific videos to talk about different types of prepositions. I showed you the simple and the compound preposition. Remember, simple is a one type, a one word preposition: on, in, off, out, in, inside. No. So now I'm going to show you, and then I showed you the compound preposition, which is 2, 3 words. But then we have to analyze these prepositions and separate them according to the situations. So I have different types of prepositions. There are more, but I'm going to focus on 4 types of prepositions: place, time, movement, agent, okay? So these are very important types of prepositions, and these are the ones that I'm going to be covering in this series. I think this series of prepositions will have 3 to 5 videos, okay? I haven't sat down, I haven't finished yet. I just thought in my head of what I wanted to talk about. But I'm imagining that I will need 3 to 5 videos to cover everything I want about prepositions, okay? And when I say everything I want, I mean in a pre-intermediate, intermediate level, not an advanced level. If I go to an advanced level, then I would need 5, 10 more lessons to cover, and I think I wouldn't be done if I covered a more advanced and professional study of prepositions, because English is a beautiful language and it has a lot of lessons for you to learn, but it depends on your level and necessity, okay? Very nice. I will also focus on, I will also have an entire video to talk about compound prepositions and prepositional phrases, because many English learners confuse phrasal verbs and prepositional phrases. They are different things, okay? And the prepositional verbs too. I'm going to be talking a little bit about this in future videos in this series. So place, time, movement, agent are very important prepositions if you are going from a basic to pre-intermediate, intermediate level. You really need to fix and improve your level of knowledge in terms of prepositions, okay? Now, yes, I think I just repeated here. I don't know why. Let's see. Very well. I will also talk about common mistakes, okay? I think maybe not one video per se, but I'm going to connect it with a shorter video, like prepositions of place and time. They can be combined into one video maybe, and then I will talk about common mistakes. But in general, there are 3 very common mistakes, guys. It doesn't get any difference than this. Students, regardless of the level, they make these 3 types of mistakes. And hey, after I tell you the mistakes, let me know which one you are, which mistake you usually make. Now, the first type of mistake is using the wrong preposition, okay? Everybody does it. I do it. Oh my God. Yes, I choose the wrong prepositions. I need help. Guys, it happens. I'm not a dictionary. I'm not a grammar book. I make bad choices, Do you make bad choices too? But it's important to fix it. It's important to correct. And there are some mistakes that we have to avoid. For example, days of the week. Many English learners still say in, but it's on Friday night. So on Tuesday nights, Teacher Prix likes to make grammar lessons, okay? So I will talk about this kind of mistake, the most popular ones, and the corrections, all right? But this is something that it doesn't matter. If you are a fluent speaker or a basic speaker, you will make. We just need to correct and decrease the number of mistakes you make. But we are not native speakers. And I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but remembering everything 100% is a challenge. So it's okay to make some mistakes and in some situations, but there are some specific situations we need to fix. And these are the ones I'm going to focus on, okay? The second type of mistake, which is very common, is when you do not use any preposition. Woohoo! You don't connect anything. I go work Saturdays. Yeah, So this is also a common mistake English learners make. They don't use any prepositions because they don't. Now, of course, I put an extreme example here. I go work Saturdays. I've seen students saying this. It happens. What are we going to do? But we have to fix that. We need to learn how to include the preposition and correct them. Okay? So this is also something that after you get out of the basic level, you get to a pre-intermediate level. Many English learners come from the basic to a pre-intermediate with a lot of this mistake, okay? But this is common. I'm not going to say it's normal, but it's common because as a basic learner, you had a lot of information, but now in the pre-intermediate and intermediate level, you will finally learn how to put this information together. So it's natural to make this kind of mistake when you don't use prepositions. So if you are in the pre-intermediate level or intermediate level and you make this mistake, relax, okay? It's a natural process, but we need to change that. We need to work so that you can go to the next level, okay? Now, the third type, and also a very common type of mistake English learners make, is connected to the wrong position of the preposition. I have heard so many times you shouldn't say I to go work. I to go to work. Why? They're putting in the wrong place. They know prepositions. They here, when the student makes this mistake, let's be positive, okay? Here we understand that we need prepositions. So if you are making this mistake, okay, let's be positive. You understand that you need a preposition, but your brain hasn't understood where. And relax, we can change that, okay? With a little bit of practice, with the right lessons, you can change this mistake, you can turn it around and correct this. But it requires practice. So stay tuned for the next lessons because they're really going to help you improve this problem you are currently having. These are very popular mistakes, and in this series we are gonna go deep, okay, my friends, and really talk about prepositions and mistakes, okay? Awesome, my friends. Now, final question for you. Video is over. It's a more like an introduction lesson, okay? I gave you the definition of prepositions. I told you about simple and compound prepositions and the difference between them. I told you the 4 types of prepositions that I'm going to be covering in this series: place, agent, time, and movement. I think so. I also told you I'm going to be talking about a specific video just to talk about compound prepositions, prepositional phrases, and the entire videos to talk about that and to talk about common mistakes. So this is an introduction lesson, okay? Now I want to know about you. All right, you're my student. And hey, guys, we are almost 100,000 subscribers. Yay! I'm so excited. Almost. We need about 300 people. So share this video. Invite people. Let's get to 100 tonight. I'm very excited. Anyways, my question to you is, I want to know about you. What preposition questions do you have? Let me know in the comments because this will help me to prepare the first lesson, which will cover the types of prepositions, okay? So let me know in the comments. If possible, share this video with your friends. Other than that, my friends, have a lovely day, a lovely night, and I will see you tomorrow for another English lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye.